It's a quiet Saturday morning in Bethesda, Maryland. The opening manager of the Lululemon Athletica store pulls into the lot. She expects nothing more than a normal day of folding leggings and greeting customers. But as she approaches the storefront, something is off. The front door isn't locked. Strange, but maybe the closers forgot. She makes a mental note to scold them later until she steps inside. The store is a disaster. Mannequins toppled, shelves overturned, glass shattered. Her eyes follow a chilling sight, bloody footprints streaked across the floor. She calls out, her voice echoing in a wreckage. A faint moan answers. Discover will never leave. Panicked, she runs outside, grabs the nearest bystander, one barely clinging to life, bound by zip ties. The other, lifeless, lying in a pool of blood. This is not a robbery gone wrong. This is something far worse. This is the case of the Lululemon murder.
All right, Sergio, episode 2. How are you feeling after we got the first one out into the world?
Amazing. I mean, it feels so good. It's a little surreal, and I'm really happy to finally join a true crime podcast because I think I've always wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm hyped to join your next, and that it's now back.
It's very surreal. It's
Yeah. How do you feel about it? Your podcast is back.
Yeah, thank you. I feel like extremely liberated, I should say. It's nice to be back in like the creative chair. More than anything to like be behind the mic. Like it feels like such a comfort zone, and to have someone there to like really volley with and to like connect deeper to the audience with also, like it's so invigorating.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like this must be what like content creators or like makeup artists, like MUAs feel once they like sit down and actually do their shit. But like this is nice. This feels so good.
Yeah, I completely agree. No, I know that feeling of like feeling invigorated because it's been pushing me to be creative and not just in like this. It's now like
Yeah.
I've been like drawing more, I've been writing more, and just generally feeling better.
Oh, I love
So
it.
it's so good. Yeah, I'm like I
Good.
had been missing this feeling a lot, so I'm really happy.
Oh,
And then
I love
we have these
that.
great episodes and deep dives into
hmm
true crime, which like now it has a purpose instead of just sitting in my head.
Yeah. Well, the relaunch is officially rolling. And the love we got from episode 16 was huge. So thank you to everyone who listened, shared, jumped back in with us, or included us in the rotation of new podcasts.
Yeah, I mean, like, who knew that like Russian spies and killer umbrellas would really do it for people? It did it for me.
You know what?
It worked for me, but I'm weird.
But-
So.
yeah. And it made me a little scared because when we were recording, they totally like intersected what was happening with our our technology
my
because like shit got
God.
so wonky.
I didn't even think about that. Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that was them.
I mean, in like this world, in our present times, it was a little more obvious than a killer umbrella. So,
Like, I'll
oops.
take that over a killer umbrella.
Okay. But listeners, dear listeners, thank you so much and make sure to follow us on Instagram. Please send us all of your DMs. We'll answer all the questions and keep it coming.
Yes. And if you haven't yet, hit follow on your podcast app. Just let us talk right now. Swipe down and go click that little follow button. Turn on the notifications. Leave us a quick review if you have Apple Podcasts. And please tell your friends. That's how we grow this community and keep the stories coming.
Okay. Let's get into it. Today's case is a wild one. We're diving into the case of Jayna Murray. I hope I'm pronouncing that middle name right. A crime many people know by its shorthand name, the Lululemon Murders. A brutal, bizarre crime that shook an upscale shopping district and left investigators untangling one of the most chaotic scenes they've ever seen. Yes, so this has everything: betrayal, bad lies, and a twistier turn than a revolved triangle posed in a hot yoga class. Let's get into it.
One more thing before we get into today's case, a heads up: this episode contains discussions of extreme violence, murder, and fabricated sexual assault claims. Please, as always, take care of yourself while listening.
The date was March 12th, 2011. Police arrived at the Bethesda Row shopping district to one of the most brutal crime scenes the area had ever witnessed. Inside the Lululemon store, they found 30-year-old manager Jayna Murray dead in the back room. Nearby, her coworker Brittany Norwood, who was 27, was discovered in the bathroom alive but bound with zip ties, injured, and barely coherent. Jayna was pronounced dead on the scene. Brittany was rushed to the hospital, and it was there that she began to tell detectives her version of what happened that night.
According to Brittany, she and Jayna closed the store around 9:45 p.m., but soon after she realized she had forgotten her wallet inside. She called a coworker and asked for Jayna's number. Jayna agreed to come back and unlock the store, which is like far more than I would have fucking done. Like,
Be like,
check your
girl,
own
oh,
belongings.
like, come back in the morning. Like, I'm not coming
Yeah.
back.
I mean, once I set that code to the door, we're fucking done. And once I get home and take off my lashes, we're even more done for the night.
Yeah, I've been
Fuck
perpetual
that.
closer. Like, I'm not coming back.
Mm,
Sorry.
absolutely not. I've already been there for 8 hours.
Yeah.
Plus my drive home. Fuck that. So that's when Brittany said two masked men burst into the store. Armed, violent, and ruthless, they ransacked the store before turning their rage on the two women. Brittany described a nightmarish assault, beatings, sexual violence, and Jayna being killed when she resisted. According to Brittany, she was spared only because one of the attackers told her she was fun to fuck. It was a horrifying story, and the detectives believed that they were chasing two violent killers on the loose.
Okay, but before we follow the investigation, let's talk about Jayna Murray, the woman whose life was taken so cruelly. Jayna grew up in Houston, Texas. After being born in Wichita, Kansas, friends and families described her as adventurous and fearless and full of life. She was the type of person who greeted you with a hug, even if you just met. She studied abroad in Madrid, graduated from George Washington University in DC, and she had received her master's in the arts in public and media relations from Johns Hopkins University. And she was also working to obtain her second master's in business administration.
Badass. That's fucking
Badass. I was like, John
intense.
Hopkins, two masters?
Yeah.
Sounds insane.
Holy
So
shit.
Jayna was very adventurous. She liked to skydive, she base jumped, and she had a very busy social life. And to support herself while she was getting her second master's degree, she worked at Lululemon. And it wasn't just a paycheck, it connected her with people who shared a love for fitness and community. So she was hoping to like meet people who, supported her whole business administration side and like building her
Mm,
own business. Her life was full of promise. And this made what investigators uncovered in her autopsy just that much more horrifying. Jayna had endured over 330 injuries, stabs, cuts,
fuck.
blunt force trauma, all inflicted with multiple weapons. Like, this was
Mm,
abusive. And she had defensive wounds, meaning she fought back until the very end. And the fatal blow was a deep stab to the back of the head, severing her spinal cord.
fuck.
So, like, after getting hit 300 times with different things, like they stabbed her in the back of the
Mm.
head, the violence was beyond comprehension. It's just, it doesn't make sense, like, why you needed to do that much. I don't know. It seems so angry. Like, you weren't trying to kill, you were trying to torture someone versus trying to kill someone,
Yeah.
because it shouldn't take that long.
That's a sick son of a bitch.
Absolutely.
But something about Brittany's story didn't quite fit. Yes, there were bloody footprints throughout the store. Brittany had pointed them out as proof of the intruders. Like, duh, obviously. So it had to be true, right?
Right.
But when investigators followed the trail, it didn't lead out the door. It simply stopped, still inside the store. And then came the shoes. The large men's size 14 sneakers that Brittany claims the attackers wore. They weren't tracked in from outside. They were found neatly sitting on a shelf in the store. Someone had taken them, put them on, and walked around in the blood. Like, I've never seen that happen at fucking Foot Locker.
I mean, I guess, like, for her, thank God that they sell shoes at Lululemon.
Yeah.
She like committed the murder and then shot for the evidence in the same place. Also,
Yeah.
just like to stop before an exit, like you're making a trail.
Like, the smart thing, and not to give like future perpetrators ideas, would be like, get as close as you can to the door, and then like jump out of the door, I don't know, do a fucking barrel roll, take the shoes off, jump back inside the store barefoot. Like, now is your time to be like Simone Biles and do that shit and make it look really fucking real so like no one can come and pin it on you.
Yeah, I mean, like if you're gonna commit, just
Commit to the
go
fucking
outside.
bit.
Commit. No, that's horrible. No, but it's so. We'll talk about it because there's just so much like
Yeah.
with this crime scene that just makes zero sense.
Well, meanwhile, Brittany's own injuries seemed strangely shallow compared to Jayna's. Superficial cuts, some bruising, painful but not life threatening, and the most disturbing part, Brittany's claim of sexual assault. The forensic exam and rape kit revealed no evidence to support it. Finally, there was Jayna's car. It had been moved and was found smeared with her blood. When detectives asked Brittany about it, she initially denied knowing anything. But during her next interview, her story shifted. Suddenly, she remembered the attackers had forced her to move the car, threatening to kill her if she resisted. And piece by piece, her account unraveled. As one investigator later put it, quote, almost none of it matched up.
Detectives quickly realized Brittany's story wasn't just inconsistent; it kept changing. Each time she spoke, she had new details, as if she were like scripting her own crime drama. One investigator later compared it to an exaggerated episode of CSI. Like it was that ridiculous. Less than a week after the murder, suspicion hardened into certainty. On March 18th, 2011, just 6 days after the crime, Brittany Norwood was arrested for first-degree murder. And as police traced the night, a disturbing picture came into focus. Brittany had lured Jayna back to the store with a simple excuse. She claimed that she forgot her wallet inside. And then once inside, she launched into a prolonged and savage attack, eventually staging the scene to look like a robbery gone wrong. And then came one of the most haunting pieces of evidence what people nearby heard that night. In the Apple store, which was next door, three employees were still working there and admitted to detectives that they heard a struggle through the walls. First, it was two women arguing that he heard one voice desperately pleading, "Talk to me. Don't do this. What's going on?" And then for the next hour, they heard sounds that no one could really mistake. They heard dragging, thuds, high pitched screams. And at one point, another voice, a different voice than the first one, cried out, "God, please help me. Please help me." And one of the employees later stated that they informed a security guard about the noises from the shopping mall, but it's unclear if anything ever happened or why no one went to check. And in the end, none of them called the police. They brushed it off as, quote, just drama between two women.
There's a lot
There's
right
a lot
there.
here. Oh, yeah.
If I heard that, I think I would like, I would definitely go out
Okay.
and take my iPhone and, like, maybe peek into the Lululemon
And
windows.
the fact that you're hearing it through the wall should tell you, hey, this might be something important or something real. This
Yeah.
whole scenario really boggles my mind because, I don't want to blame them for anything. I don't know what I would do in this
Right.
situation, but, the things that they admitted hearing, I was like, you could have at least gone and look. Someone asking for help, maybe, or call someone to check on them if you don't want to put yourself in that situation, which is totally fair.
Mhm.
But the fact that they did nothing and they just heard it happening for like an hour,
Oh my god, that's so much time.
so much time. It could have just been like someone robbing the store. And
Yeah.
even then, like, you could just call the police. Hey, like, I think someone's in the store next door and it's supposed to be closed.
Or, like, I remember in the few malls that I've worked in, like, I remember having security's number, like, in my phone
Yeah.
just in case, like, mall security, like, just in case.
Yeah. Cause I remember reading that they did tell security, but there's like no details after that
Mhm.
as to like, did they come? Did they go check? Obviously, they didn't
Yeah.
check the store. They would have found a horrible scene, but I don't know. I think they were just covering themselves.
Again, like, we're not blaming anybody, that's
It's
just
just hard. It's one of those things where it's like, this is like could have she been saved,
right.
without blaming anyone. Like I don't know what I would have done in the situation as well, but it's very frustrating. It's very unreal. Like I don't know. With the true crime, I feel like if it feels wrong, call the police. Like
Yeah.
almost every time, it's like, now it could be nothing. Especially, I hate that excuse of, oh, it's just drama. It's just two chicks arguing.
I that is very tough. Investigators determined that Brittany's attack was relentless. She armed herself with whatever she could find from the store's toolbox: a hammer, a knife, a merchandise peg, and a box cutter. At least 5 different weapons. With them, she inflicted more than 300 wounds on Jayna. The injuries were so disfiguring that her family could not even hold an open casket funeral, which, whoa,
It's insane. It's so brutal.
that's beyond brutal.
Beyond brutal.
Brittany didn't stop there. Once Jayna was dead, she needed a story, something to explain the chaos. So she took Jayna's car and moved it into a nearby lot, then sat inside for more than an hour piecing together her cover up. When she returned to the store, the staging began. She toppled mannequins, trashed merchandise, and smashed figures to make it look like a robbery. She opened the safe and removed bags of cash. She slipped on a pair of men's size 14 sneakers from the shelves and walked through the blood, planting footprints she hoped would point to her phantom attackers. And finally, her most disturbing step, she turned the violence on herself. She cut and bruised her body just enough to appear beaten. She ripped open the crotch of her own pants and of Jana's to fabricate a sexual assault. She zip tied her wrists above her head, then lay on the cold floor for hours, waiting to be discovered by the morning opener.
Okay. I mean, this is this is insane cuz like I always, I think inevitably and you can't help it, try to put yourself in the position of these people. And I just can't imagine like having done something so brutal and then I'm just going to lie here till morning for this lie to like someone could come find us.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine. Like what did she do for hours
No.
on the floor?
And how did she zip tie her own hands?
Yeah. Well, I remember that like the cop said that was suspicious too because she like zip tied her hands and she no sorry holding the microphone. She like had them above her head, um, which just like to them seemed weird because it wasn't actually restraining her other than just tying her hands together. So I don't know.
I mean, good on her for making that idiotic mistake, but I how did she have the code to the safe, but she didn't have like keys to get back in? What, like, we'll come to find
Ooh,
out why she needed Jaina to come back, but like that doesn't make fucking sense.
that's a great detail that I didn't think about.
Unless it was
Like,
written
did she make
somewhere
Jaina open it? Like, because I doubt they would give it to just everybody. It would only be like managers.
and this bitch did not seem like she was in any way capable
Mm-mm.
of being a manager
Or she would
or
have her own
a
keys and be
supervisor at
like, you
that.
know what, Brittany, get your own damn wallet.
Yeah.
I'm almost home.
Yeah. 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 I'm watching Drag Race and I just opened a Four Loco. Leave me the fuck alone.
It's like, I'm already
Not
at
me
the
talking
bar
about
and drunk. Yeah, I was
myself.
like, I'm already drunk, girl. I can't come back. Being there.
I don't know what else
I
to
mean,
say.
there's just
It's
so much that, I think without knowing all of the details, it seems like, oh, this person really thought it out. But once
Yeah.
you start looking at the details, I was like, oh no, this is insane. Like you were thinking last minute, like I like the CSI comic because I was like, you probably thought back to some case you saw. It's just like, oh, where they made it look like a robbery.
Yeah.
Because she did all of those things
Fucking idiot.
terribly. Like she hit all the points, like
Yeah.
ransack the place, footprints, and like make yourself seem the victim.
And then she also went through a shopping center in like an uppity scale area. Like, you didn't think you would be caught on anyone's camera, or like where did the logic stop? I mean, I think it's clear where the
Because
logic
you're
stopped,
you're talking
but
about like the car thing, right?
yeah.
Because that drove me insane. Uh, so she moved Jana's car out of that parking lot and put it in another
Mhm.
one. But the cops came back and asked her about it. It's like, do you know who moved Jana's car? And I think at first she said, no, I don't know anything. And then they came back to interview her a couple days later and unprompted, without them asking about it, she's like, oh, I remember now. They forced me to go move that car. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, she said that the killers were like, you need to go move the car. If you're not back in 10 minutes, we're going to murder you or we're going to murder Jana.
And in my head, they were like, "Let's ask her if she knows, like, how this happened. Like, let's just see what she says." And then when she's like, "No, I don't know." They're like, "Well, then how did you get these fucking keys? Why were they in
Exactly.
why were they in your bag?"
It's like, and no, and then they found Jayna's blood in the car, which like doesn't make sense. It's like, so Jayna, who's been bludgeoned 300 times, somehow got in her car, but then also went back into
Yeah.
the store. Like, what?
Like if she tried to escape and was only able to get so far as like getting her car into like a safe space in that other parking lot.
But it's just the logic. What was the logic behind moving her car?
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, even in her fake scenario of the robbers made me move it, like, what was the point? She's dead in the back. Like, it's not like, oh, she left the store.
I I'm not even gonna say what I would have done, but that's just I feel like no, I'm not gonna
But
say
this is
that.
like, this is the bizarre thing about this. I mean, like, you can say it and then edit it out later if you want. I always like, I have been thinking about that. I'm like, how dark can we go
Yeah.
without being offensive?
I would really go the length of like if I really wanted to pin this as like a a murder, whatever. I really would go as far as like taking Jana's body out of the store somehow, making it look like she drove the car, and then like I would just fucking dip out from there.
Like,
Like I
leave her
wouldn't
in the
even worry
car.
about yeah. And
Mm,
then like maybe I would go back into the store, set myself up with the zip ties, but actually like tie myself up to something where like I couldn't
yeah.
get my
I
hands
mean, like,
out
look,
of.
Brittany, I think you needed to commit more and have some worse injuries. Because, I mean, even like that, as a
Yeah.
police officer, if I came in as like, this lady was bludgeoned 300 times and you had some scratches, like, it makes zero sense. There's no reason for any murderer to only do it to one when they had all night, you know? It's
Like a toddler's nails scratched deeper than the scratches she gave herself.
exactly.
She didn't even fucking try at all.
No, and then she just like tied her own hands up, and it still didn't make sense. I I don't know. I mean, it was very dumb because that's what I thought when I first read the story. It was like, oh, she put some thought into this and making it look like a robbery, but no, she panicked and it was last second. It's like, okay, what are the
Yep.
telltale signs? But everything was half-assed, half
But
thought.
make
Like, it
it
was a
lazy.
half, yeah, it was like half-assed, half a thought. Like, oh, I'm gonna make a blood trail of someone's shoes who are not my size,
Yeah.
but it didn't leave the store, so that's half a thought, and on and on and on. Not that we're trying to help her like get away with this, but I don't know. I mean, this case in particular, what puzzles me the most is this kind of motive and the thought behind it, because I don't know, I feel like with a lot of true crime, especially when we talk about like organized killers and everything, there's a logic to it, whether it makes
Yeah.
sense to like a normal rational person or not, but there's a logic to it. This just feels so disorganized, so random. So the motive, that's that, like what always got to me, because I was like, this is a crime of passion, this is something horrifically
Yeah.
violent. This wasn't just like, I need you dead. This was like torture. So, okay. So the police finally caught up to Brittany and all of her fucking lies. And like, you absolutely, nothing you said was true. But what was the motive? So, why had Brittany lured Jayna back to the store, murdered her so savagely, and then staged this elaborate cover up, laid down on the floor for hours waiting for the manager to come find them? And according to the prosecution, it all came down to leggings.
Uh,
And allegedly, her and Jayna had been arguing that night after they do the standard bag check when you leave the store, making sure there's nothing in it that shouldn't be.
mhm.
And of course, Jayna caught Brittany. She was trying to steal a pair of leggings. Like, that's what they're saying is the trigger, that Jayna was going to
Mhm.
report her and it would cost her her job. So Brittany decided to silence her
My God.
um, for a pair of leggings. And then so they started looking into Britney's past, and theft was the big thing. She loved to steal. She had a history of stealing
Surprises no
and
one.
manipulating people. One former friend put it bluntly: she was my best friend in college. We had a falling out because girl was like a klepto. Um, so like, your own friends fucking hate how much you steal their shit. So like, it's compulsive. And Brittany was fired from her previous Lululemon store for buying more than she was allowed to using the discount. Okay, so she was hired not at that store, but she was hired a month before this murder, and she was transferred to the Bethesda store.
That is fucking insane.
I mean,
Like, were there not notes in the HR file?
exactly. That's what I wonder. I'm like, you're a national chain. Her name should be flagged of like,
Yeah.
hey, do not rehire this thief. But I guess that didn't happen.
She must have, like, had known or had some sort of relation to the previous store manager or, like, had connections somewhere. Like, I I can't imagine that a conglomerate as Lululemon is gonna be very lenient with anyone that shoplifts from their stores or abuses, especially, like, their employee discount.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Even though
don't
it's really
know.
no, like, true loss to them on the bottom line, it seems like a dumb mistake.
So like this makes me wonder because it's I'm like comparing it to true crime cases where different police precincts, districts, jurisdictions are
Mm,
not communicating with
mhm.
each other. Like, is that what was happening here?
Yeah.
The last person was fired to doesn't communicate
Mm.
with like corporate, or like corporate doesn't send that to everybody. I don't know. It's like, who's the hiring manager?
That's a very good point.
Either way, point is that she was a fucking kleptomaniac and had no problem lying to people and conning people,
Jesus.
like conning people out of things. And I've had that friend before. It's
Oh,
like,
no.
you need to get your shit together, get out. Like, you need to get your shit together, don't come to my house.
Fuck.
Okay, anyways, so Jayna and Brittany, they did work together, but they weren't close, they weren't friends or anything. And like we said earlier, Brittany didn't have Jayna's phone number to call her to come back. She had to call another employee, ask her for the number so she can call Jayna to come back. But it just makes the whole thing just more chilling. Like, was the possibility of being caught stealing or potentially losing your job, is that enough to justify in your twisted brain, I have to murder her, I have to stop her, I have to like kill her before she can tell anybody because I need this job, or I didn't, like, in my head, didn't steal anything. It's so irrational.
I mean, at most, I think I would, like, push down a mannequin on my way out of the store for the night, like, "Fuck, I got caught." Like, that would be my one act of retaliation.
Oh, I've definitely like rage quit. Yeah, no, I've definitely rage quit out of places.
Oh, you're so fucking badass, I wish I
Oh
could.
my, I've never been fired from a job, but I've quit several. No, I've only done that like once or twice. The rest have been very quiet, of like, this is my 2 weeks. You're a terrible fucking manager.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bye. Okay, let's finish this. The question of motive became a fierce debate in court and out of court, as we have just debated over and over. The prosecution argued that the theft showed premeditation. Brittany panicked after being caught and lured Jayna back into the store with the intent to silence her. The defense pushed back, calling the theft claim heresy. There was no concrete evidence that Jayna had confronted Brittany that night, so the judge ultimately dismissed her from the trial. So there wasn't like any concrete evidence that Brittany stole something and that Jayna caught her. That was just kind of the story that was given. So instead, her defense framed it as a killing of a crime of passion, insisted that it shouldn't be first-degree murder, um, because they're basically arguing she didn't plan it. It just kind of happened in the moment. But the jury, however, thankfully, saw it differently. One juror, I love this juror. This juror later recalled, and he told the news, is like, we walked into the room and I asked out loud, I asked, who thought this was first degree murder? Everybody's hands went up. So we're like, I just can imagine him walking into that jury room and be like, okay, who else thinks this bitch is guilty? It's like, done.
Yeah.
Write it down. So love them for that. But yeah, like the entire jury did not believe it at all, that this wasn't premeditated, that this
Good.
wasn't like planned as terribly as it was
Mhm.
planned, but it wasn't in the moment. It wasn't a
Right.
crime of passion.
Right.
Um, on November 2nd, 2011, 8 months after Jayna's murder, in just 1 hour, so our favorite juror convinced everybody in 1 hour. In 1 hour of deliberation, the jury found Brittany guilty of first-degree premeditated murder and second-degree specific intent to kill murder. And later in January 2012, she was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Yay, round of applause.
Bye. Bye.
So they spent 1 minute of that hour just raising their hands, and
Yeah.
then they had another 59 minutes of like coffee and
Right, I was
chat
gonna say, I was like,
hour.
what are we getting for lunch today,
Like,
y'all? It's on the government. So
yeah, like
whatever you want in the
exactly.
city of
It's a
Bethesda.
paid day. Like we are going to, yeah, we are taking this a full advantage. But holy shit.
Holy shit. I mean, it's insane. That still does it still bothers me. And I told you this earlier. I was like, I want a full psychological profile on Brittany because it just doesn't make sense, to going from just like petty theft and like manipulation, but then she's like, okay, I need to stop this chick from telling on me. But again, the crime was too brutal. It wasn't about silencing her.
Yeah.
This was like a weird thing of, I don't know, like getting anger out, or maybe she really did hate Jayna that much. But it wasn't about the theft, in my opinion. I think it's
I definitely agree with that. And especially like and on all the times that she had committed theft, especially at her last store for being fired from it to being rehired, like you were already given your beyond like second grace. Why did it escalate to this? And I think like the second thing I'll posit is like I can't imagine that retail is easy for anyone that is a person of color.
yeah,
I
yes,
think Lululemon's demographic is very whitewashed.
yeah. No, and it was very like upper class, housewife kind of yoga brand.
Yeah. Like, and I'm sure like very seldom you would see a woman or a person of color wearing the
Yeah.
Lululemon stuff, but then you might think like, how did they get that? So like
Ooh.
I don't know what Bethesda is like, especially in 2011, but like maybe she wasn't their first choice for customers to go to, or she would ask if they needed help. They said no. And then and like I don't know. I think as a person of color, anything can push you a little bit too far, and I might just be looking too far into it, but I think it's like an angle that we kind of should just look at you maybe just a little bit.
No, I think we should always consider that angle, especially when it comes to like, the minority groups, BIPOC people and queer people. It's
Mhm.
just like we have to suffer a certain level of disrespect that, like white straight people don't have
Right.
to, but that's like I experienced that and my response was to rage quit. I'm like, which is that's why this is so confusing. I was like, yeah, she can absolutely have left, found another job in retail, or just like denied it. But
Right.
this, I don't know. This seems,
She could have gone to fucking work at the Apple store next
yeah,
door. Like she had to
this seems
she had to go this
personal. That's
far.
that's what bothers me. Like they never talk about it being personal, but it feels personal. Or, in Brittany's head, Jayna became the representation of something that really hurt her, like really hated.
Right.
It's too violent. If she was just trying to kill her and like silence her, but this was like she used 5 different weapons. She had like bludgeoned her for an hour, 300 different injuries. Like it's
Mhm.
just insane.
She could have gone about this in one, definitely not taking the fucking murder route, first and foremost. But she could have like, if she knew how to get into the safe, she could have planned something to where when Brittany was away, she could have taken money out, and so Brittany's like night count wouldn't match up to the opener. Then it goes back on Brittany. Then it's like you get off scot free from stealing fucking leggings. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. That's what
like
why this is so confusing. It's like there's obviously a lot more here.
you could have hid the fucking money in the size 14 shoes. Like you didn't have to go and kill Jayna, you fucking bitch.
Yeah, I'm like you could have just broken in by yourself. You didn't have to tell her to come back.
And there were no cameras inside the store.
Right. No, yeah, they never talked about that. No cameras, nothing. Or even in the mall. I think they did have cameras outside the mall and they saw Brittany moving the car. And that's why they asked her. It's like, hey, do you know what happened to her car?
Mm.
And they already knew, but yeah, she like came up with that story unprompted, which is another stupid mistake. It's like, that one thing you said that one time, I remember now.
Alexa, play Celine Dion's It's All Coming Back to Me Now. Wait, no, Alexa, cancel. I was just kidding. I was just doing a bit.
No. Do not. Yeah, I was like, do not link those two together.
Well, so obviously the crime left Bethesda reeling. At first, the community was gripped by fear, terrified that two violent men were still on the loose. But when the truth came out, that fear turned into shock, disgust, and disbelief at the actions of a single woman. For Jayna's family, the conviction was a measure of justice, but it could never erase their grief, and still they refused to let tragedy be the final word. In her memory, they established the Jayna Murray Foundation, honoring the passions and values she held closest. Today, under the leadership of her brother, Hugh Murray, the foundation provides scholarships for higher education, continuing Jayna's legacy of learning, ambition, and opportunity for others. The foundation continues to thrive today, carrying Jayna's spirit forward by supporting students in their pursuit of higher education. Her family has also become a cornerstone of the Bethesda community, honoring her memory in ways that reflect both her passions and her joy for life. Each year, they host events like a 5K walk and run and a competitive pie fest, bringing people together in Jayna's name. Her mother, Phyllis, even handcrafts some ornaments sold every holiday season because Christmas was Jayna's favorite time of year, which, oh, my heart.
Yeah. No, it's so precious. I saw them and they like have the foundation's name on it and they're
Mm-hmm.
really cute.
They are cute.
And I would have ordered some if I could.
To that point, the Etsy shop is still up, but it's no longer like producing ornaments. I did see on their Facebook, the foundation's Facebook group page, that the last time they posted was November of 2024. So not sure what happened there. But in case you go searching for it, it exists. They both do, but they're both pretty stagnant and kind of non-existent.
I mean, it's been like more of a decade now, so like it's been a while.
Yeah, true. This case is remembered as the devastating loss of a brilliant, vibrant woman, a life cut short in such a brutal and senseless way. But it is also remembered for the light that continues to shine in her name. Jayna's story is not only one of tragedy, but of love, resilience, and a legacy that will never be forgotten.
And that's the case of Jayna Murray. That's a heavy one. That's a hard one to get through.
Fuck yeah.
Just the level of violence and the level of confusion. Like I just don't get it. I don't understand why something like this happened. It makes very little sense.
I want to say too, like, we weren't trying to justify anything that Brittany did, and like a lot of our speculation or like what ifs, and we're definitely not sensationalizing her because fuck her. But it's, yeah, the what ifs, I think it's as clean cut, I think, as it can get. But when we're not further sensationalizing Brittany by like knowing about and learning about the pieces that like really drove her to commit this and go so far, like I feel like that's the only piece that's missing. But I mean, fuck her. I don't want to give her an extra interview or the opportunity to further explain.
No, I mean I think that's very natural, especially with true crime fans. Like you want to understand why these things happen, in whatever that informs inside of you. But it's just like you want to understand why. And like I think the human brain wants to think that there is a clear reason, like I think the human mind wants to know, it's like, oh, because this person did this happened to them. And like, life isn't really like that. And
Right.
people who commit this kind of crimes, their logic makes sense to them, but it is not going to make
Mm-hmm.
sense to the average person. So I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's the fascination I have with why, and not just in this case, but like all of our cases. Like I want to understand why, whether there is a rational answer or not.
And for those of us that are really true crime like aficionados and we think about it constantly, like I think our minds really don't like open ends. Like we really want to close the loop. And like fuck, look at, I mean, unsolved cases alone, like John Benet Ramsey, the the um Zodiac, fuck, that took forever. I was drawing the symbols in
Zodiac
my head.
killer,
The
yeah,
the Zodiac killer. Yeah, like this is shit that like really rocks our brain, but when it's
yeah,
something like as on a much smaller scale like this and like a hometown crime, like we feel like we should have all the pieces start to finish for it.
yeah, and yeah. It's a horrible itch of like, this is incomplete. I need to know.
Mm. Mm-hmm. It really grinds my gears that we don't, but Whatever. Brittany, I hope you're enjoying your fucking prison issued yoga leggings. And I hope they're made of like the scratchiest shit too.
So that is the case of Jayna Murray and Brittany Norwood. But before we go today, because now we've reached the end of our episode, it is spooky season. And I'm so very excited. And the weather is turning. I want to wear my sweaters and watch scary movies constantly.
I mean, I'm going to do all of that year round, but like
I mean, I do that year round.
Time, yeah, this time of year, it's just like, it feels right. It feels like, let me get in my Snuggie. Right. Let me get my Pillsbury like tray of cookies that I know I'm going to regret the next morning of gorging on, but like, and my candy corn. But let me just sit on the couch and be fat and sassy.
Yeah. How dare you? Like, that's so simple.
If you think this was chilling, wait until you hear what we have lined up for spooky season. Let's just say that the ghosts aren't all in costumes.
And if you're listening on Spotify, you can drop your thoughts in the Q&A section right under the episode, which is a new thing that Spotify has. Slide into our DMs, always.
Yes.
Apple Podcasts doesn't have this feature yet, so the best way to chat with us is on the Instagram, @yournextpod.
So in the Q&A section, send us your thoughts on this case, your creepiest true crime theories, haunted stories, favorite scary movies, or just let us know what you're dressing up as. We'll definitely need all of these details to survive editing next week's episode. While you're on Instagram, make sure to follow us so you don't miss our Halloween and future drops. And finally, if you're enjoying the show, please leave a rating and review in your favorite podcast app. It really, really does help us reach new listeners.
Absolutely. Your next podcast is here to stay every week. All right. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time for another case. And be careful out there, or you're next.
Ooh, toodles. Bye. Let's skedaddle.
Bye-bye.